Hello and welcome to Talend Studio Chapter 1, Lesson 3. In this lesson we'll be covering the UI of Talend and we'll be using the demo project for it. Once we open Talend, you are presented with three tabs. Let's look at the Repository tab. Within the Repository tab, you will see Job Designing, where you can design jobs, Context, where you can hold context values, metadata, where you can hold different types of metadata. As you can see, you can hold databases, delimited files, XML files, Excel files, etc. Let's open up a job. For instance, before run jobs, if you double click it, it will be opened up in the main part of the Talend Open Studio, which I call the canvas, but it's also called the workspace. If you highlight on any of the component, the Components tab will change dynamically according to the component. The Run tab would always be the same, and it is where you run the job. Within the Component tab, you'll be able to specify different settings for the components, such as most of them will be based on basic and advanced settings. The Context tab holds the context values, and they can be either dynamic or static. If they're static, they're grayed out and can be viewed in the Repository tab. Moving on to Palette. The palette is the location where you can view all the Talend components provided. Currently, Talend has over 800 components, and the tool to view them, in my opinion, is complete rubbish. So I would suggest not using it at all. Very frustrating to use it, in my opinion. But it's just showcase, you can drag a component from the palette onto the canvas. Alternatively, you can, if we delete the component, you can type out the name of the component, and I find that a much more elegant and fast way to perform a component addition. So let's close out the palette and minimize it so it's not in our way. On the left side, apart from the repository, we have an outline section, which can be used to drag and drop global variables for each component. So if we open up a tjava component and click any global variable, you can see we can drag it into the field, thus immediately generating the code. In addition to the outline, there's also a code view section with which you can view the code of any component. I find it rather pointless as you can view the code other ways, so we're going to close it. To further change the look and feel, we can click Windows Preferences and type Appearance in the search field. Here you can see that we can customize the look and feel even further and change slightly how the Talend application looks. In addition to that, what I also want to cover off is the debug and run setting. Here we can change how much RAM is used by the application. Apart from that, we can change other sections, for instance the default metadata length for different data types, but we're not going to change them at this moment. So let's close out the existing job, click now on Save, and create a new job by right-clicking the job designer and clicking the Create Job. Alternatively, we can create a folder, import item, or export item, but we will cover those later in later lessons. Once you click the Create Job, you're presented with a pop-up window in which you can define the name of the job, the purpose of the job, and the description. The name is mandatory and cannot have spaces or special characters within the name, so I would suggest giving a name that has underscores instead. For purpose, I would also advise adding some kind of a purpose and a description. That way you're removing the warning signs and also you're making it possible for the other users who might be looking at the job quickly identifying what the job is about. Once you double click it, the job will be opened and then you can start typing out different components within the visual palette. Let's type tjava to create a tjava component, and within the code section, within the basic settings, let's type out hello world enclosed in system.out.println. This will give us the ability to print out the hello world statement to the console log. Once you're done typing out the command, switch over to the Run tab, and before we run, let's check the wrap and remove the context values from the side. Click Run. Once the job is executed, you can see in the console log the message that we printed out to the console log. Now let's type TMSG box component, and let's copy paste hello world. Paste it into TMSG box, hello world, and change the title. Leave the rest as it is. Click Run. As you can see, Hello World has been printed to the console log, and a pop-up window has appeared showing Hello World as well. If we click OK, the job finishes, and we don't have any issues. The exit code is 0. We can see that the statistics are on, meaning flow information is displayed within the canvas. We don't have any components that display it for now, so don't worry about it. We can highlight multiple components and make actions on them, either delete or close them. We can go to settings of those components, and we can also highlight both of them and delete them. Alternatively, we can press the delete button. Let's close out of the job. And here you can see on an existing job that we can do other things like read the job, meaning opening the job in read mode, meaning it won't be locked, and if somebody else has access to that job, he can also open it. We can edit the properties, make a duplicate of the job, copy the job, build the job to make it run standalone, generate a document based on the job. We can also export the job so somebody can else import it. Or for now, let's delete the job. There's one note about deleting a job. If we delete the job, it moves to the recycle bin, and if we type the same name of the job when we create a new job, it will not allow us to create it again. It will probably give you a warning saying the job is already in the recycle bin, so make sure you clean up the recycle bin from time to time. So now if we type out the same name again, demo underscore job, you will see there is a warning saying you can't create the job again. Let's type tjava and click save to close it. And if we open up the read mode, you can see that everything grayed out. You can still run the job, and but you cannot modify anything within the job because it's in read mode, as the name suggests. This covers our quick lesson on the Talend UI. We will be exploring different elements of the UI a lot more in the upcoming lessons. Thank you.